So Amazon Bedrock allows you to have custom models through training. And so you can choose a foundational model. So like one of the models from the catalog, not all of them, but a lot of them allow you to be trained. And you can do either continued pre-training. Sometimes they call this continuous pre-training. So it just depends on the documentation, but it's the same thing here, where you're using unlabeled data that improves the model's general knowledge. Then you have fine tuning, where you're using labeled data that improves the model to perform a very specific task. So make sure you understand those clear different things. But yeah, continue pre-training is you're just adding knowledge, like just general text, just tons of text, and fine tuning, trying to get them to do something very specific. And the format of those files, and by the way, those are JSON-L files, which is JSON object per line. It's going to vary based on what you want it to do. So if you're doing text to text, then I think that's the format there, prompt to completion. If you're doing single turn or multi-turn, then the format will vary for the fine-tuning options. You can use SageMaker Ground Truth to create and label training data sets, but I mean, it's not that hard to label your data, but it depends on how much data you have. There's also other things you might want to know, like about the cost. So imagine if you have a custom model, like let's say use Cohere Command. We're using this as pricing example. You have the training time. So if the price to train is 1,000 tokens, you're paying at 0.004 cents. If you need to, you'll need to store the model. So there's going to be an additional cost per month for that. And when you have a custom model, you have to use provision throughput. So if the model previously was on demand, now it's going to be provision throughput. And so that's going to be 49.50 cents per MU in this case here. So it's going to vary based on the model you're fine tuning. Okay. So when you deploy a custom model, you have to use provision throughput. So factor in the continuous cost versus the on-demand costs for having a more intelligent model, okay? Let's talk about import models, which is related to custom models. This allows you to import model weights, allowing you to bring specific models as custom models that you can allow Amazon Bedrock to deploy and manage. And so there are some things you need to know about the infrastructure, or architecture. It only supports Mistral, Flan, Llama 2, Llama 3 right now. I'm sure they'll expand it in the future. When you import a model, you provide the following files that Hugging Transformer Library creates. So you have safe tensors, config JSON, tokenizer file. I think it's supposed to be JSON. It's not SUN, it's JSON. We have a tokenizer file, tokenizer.model. Importing models is useful when you have trained these specific LLMs outside of Bedrock on your own compute or within SageMaker. So it gives you more flexibility, because when you use the method training for custom models, you're doing whatever AWS lets you do. So this gives you more flexibility as long as it's compatible, okay?